Welcome to Soundbreaker. On today's episode, we're talking to Alexandre Deniot, who's in France, who is the president of Global Music Community, and Garry Yankson, his partner, who is the Community Chief Marketing Officer. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us both, all the way from the other side of the ocean in France. We'd love to be there. For our listeners who might not be familiar with either one of you, can you please give us a small introduction about yourselves before we get started? I know it's going to be really intriguing and exciting. I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah,
Yes,
cool.
sure.
Thank you very much for having us today, Bob. I've been in the music
My
industry
pleasure.
for the last 25 years. Started at Sony Music, then 15 years at Universal, and then I ran MiDEM for 5 years. So it was the largest music event in the world for music professionals. And on top, I'm managing talents. So I'm really a music guy, basically.
Wow. Amazing. I mean, between Sony and Universal, before you ran MiDEM, I'm sure you attended MiDEM for 20 years. So at
And
least
not really, not really.
before you ran it. Gary, give us a bit of your background, buddy, before we dive into it.
Yeah, sure. So today I'm a creative entrepreneur and serial because I like that little adjective, adding some credit to the background. I've been hustling in the music industry, but also in the audiovisual industry, the art industry, the art and fine
Yes.
art market. So I'm really more into all the creative fields. Today as an advisor, previously as a founder of my own businesses, and I'm also a writer and a very happy chef and a happy dad. That's what helps me to wake up in the morning.
I never heard of that. Happy chef, happy dad. Men love to eat, and I like that. Happy chef, happy dad, happy dad. I'm going to use that. I like it. I actually do like
Go
it.
ahead, man.
Food
Go ahead.
always because food, like music, always puts smiles on people's faces.
Right?
Music, yes, absolutely. Food and music is always the where you can create happiness between people and
And
unite them
gathers
together.
people. Yeah.
Yes, always all about gathering, uniting people together. Yes, you're
Mhm.
definitely an entrepreneur. You said something. I've been hustling in the music business. Usually people don't say it, but I tell you the truth, it is. The music business is about how hard you hustle. Not just hard work. You got to hustle in a positive way, obviously. Alexandra, I guess let's go back to you, sir, and talk about your 20 years. If I'm 15, no, we said 10 and 15. So 25 years in the music business between Sony and Universal. So definitely, you did kind of compile these massive accolades in your resume or in your sheet of achievements, and then you went and ran one of the biggest events in the world, MiDEM, which is I used to love to attend. We're going to talk about it in a second, but let's talk about your experience and your journey through the major labels. How did you start it there, and what did you do for both for Sony and Universal?
The way I've been introduced to these companies before I was a drummer, I wanted to be like a professional drummer. So I played in band. I went to Canada. I went to Australia with my band. And I had the opportunity to perform in the US. But unfortunately, when you play in a band, you have different people, and sometimes we don't have the same directions. So finally, we broke up, and I had this opportunity to start at Sony Music. It was like marketing promotion. Pretty interesting to start with that. You're young, you start this job, you have opportunities to meet a lot of artists and do something that you like and you love. So it was really fun. And then I started at Universal. I played different roles, mainly like I would say sales. And at the end, I was a business development director on digital, and I launched music services in Africa.
Amazing, very interesting. Africa is a big, huge market that everybody's running to right now. Everybody's putting boots on the ground, as they say in Africa. Yes, yes. Gary, you're an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, as you called yourself. You have your passion or love for tech and music, and you came from Orange. Orange is a telecom company. If somebody doesn't know what Orange is, a telecom company in Europe and in the Middle East. I think all over the world. It's a massive company. I don't know if it's under T-Mobile or it's still independent. But you come from a tech background or communication background or telecom background, and then your love and passion for the music business brought you back in it, and you combine both tech and music together. Please give us a bit on that.
Yeah, so I first studied as Orange. During my studies, I had to go to some company. So I was half at school, half working. And I started in the financial world. That was not the most pleasant part of my career so far. Doing Excel sheets all day long, every day, every weeks, every month. But that was a lot. And then I decided to create my own businesses very young. So I started to fund my first business when I was 18 already. At first as a dancer, so as a creative. Then I produced some dance events, and I produced music. So I had to create my own label. I produced the festival, and while I was working in the whole entertainment industry and the hip hop community, I had that, as you said, that link to the tech side, because I was doing studies with communication, but I also created the first website of my college. At that time, I had a tech project. Like, as a student, I was working with Orange, and I was like, okay, maybe that's the things to do. How can I activate this community I have around the hip hop culture, and how could I help and go further and make a serious leap and go for a better growth with all my activities. And then came the idea of the digital, and I first started with that, working with a few different employers, because when you start a business and you're like in your 20s, you don't have that much money like to be able to live your life, right? So I was working with a leader company in the audiovisual field, adding some tech in it, adding some digital, and then I seriously realized that I had to do something with it, and came the idea with my first tech business, Hip Hop Community, which was a marketplace. And then this is when I linked music and entertainment to the tech for real, and became a tech entrepreneur, discovering all the development sides and the tools and everything. And here I am a few years later.
Yes. The music business depends on the tech. Without tech, there's no music business. You know that. It really kind of the main driving vehicle for the music. Without it, it doesn't exist. Sure, without the number one is the artist. Always the artist, number one, two, and three. I always say that. Without the artist, there's no music business. How important and how valuable technology in the music business is, even beyond. That's how it get transferred. Everybody get to hear it worldwide. Alexander, you took a role in leading one of the biggest music summits or gatherings, and it was a tradition. If you don't go to MiDEM every year, if you're in the music business, you're not in the music business. You're just somebody who want to be in the music business. Even the wannabes attended. It was one of my favorite events back in the day when it was, I was saddened when I saw the transformation of it. It was one of the greatest events. Just the energy when you used to walk into the Palais in the Croisette back in the south of France. The minute you walk in, the level of energy and the noise and the people and the interaction, it's just beyond. Like, you walk in, you just get that feeling all of a sudden, like, yes, I'm going to make it in this business. I love it. It's here. I'm going to make it. It just gives you that oomph, that kind of, what should I say, that push and that positive outlook on it. And not to mention the parties. Everybody used to compete, every label. It depends how much money they got, the bigger the parties were, whether it's on a yacht, in the hotel, and all of that. It was great. And just then all of a sudden, it took a little bit of time, but then it transferred. It became just a tiny little gathering, and they wanted to do it online. That didn't work. But you joined them in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Right. And how, obviously they needed help, because when they got in trouble, it's like, okay, this is not the way it is. We need somebody. So they looked for somebody who has the leadership and the vision, how should I say, experience also, and say, hey, please help us bring MiDEM the way it was. I'm sure you faced a lot of challenges, and tell us about this whole, how did they find you and why did you take the job?
Yeah, challenges. Yes. That's for sure. It was, when I arrived, MiDEM was not in a very good shape. The brain image was not too good. And my first thing, I started to go around the world to meet people, because at the end of the day, it's a relationship that you are building. So I started to meet a lot of people in different countries and bring them back to MiDEM, and bring the coolness into the event also, and try to put the artist at the center, because for a long time it was very it's about business for sure, but the central point is artist. So I started to create the first songwriting camps. We had song nominated at the Latin Grammys. I started to create studios in front of the Palais des Festivals. And also what I did, I instead of having one event, I did events in Rio, in Brazil. I did 10 events in 7 countries in Africa. I did some events in Asia. So try to really extend MiDEM outside France and to go and meet people where they were. So that was something very important for me. It was a huge challenge, but at the end, it was it was fabulous to see the level of happiness and the way we were connecting people. I had more than 90 countries coming to the event in Cannes, so it was huge. And a lot of people, the young generation of music professionals and artists. So it was a big success. And before COVID, we were increasing by 20% the attendees to the event. So it was doing very good, very good.
Amazing. Gary, I would like you to tell me, how did these two great, amazing guys, different directions, kind of join forces together? Do you guys were friends, or you guys just came across each other's path in obviously in the music business, whether it's an event or a MiDEM or somewhere? How did you guys meet, and how this force of ideas started to generate? We're coming up with the first AI management platform that's probably gonna reshape and change the world. As both of you come from different background and similar background. I mean, okay, Alexander definitely grew up in the music business, and you grew up in the finance, tech, and then the music always was part of you. So you brought it back in, and you kind of joined forces.
Yeah. So as you said, like, we're very different and very similar at the same time, mixing the business side and the creative part of us. Alexander as a drummer and myself as a dancer at first,
Yes.
and then years took us to where we were, and we met actually at MiDEM. I think it was 20 in Cannes, and I've never heard about MiDEM before.
No
Alex
way.
took it to another to another level. So as he said, the brand was way better, and it touched the youngest generation. Because I was an outsider when I started and was hustling in the music game in France.
Yes.
And then I discovered MiDEM. I was like, okay, let's get there. And I had a grant to be there because I was supported by the Cultural Ministry of France for my innovation. I had the chance to win several, and one from the government, and they brought me to MiDEM. I was like, okay, let's get there. And I'm a very social guy. So is Alex. And when I had the chance to cross his way, cross his path at the event, I was like, hey, what's up, man? I'm Gary. I heard you were the CEO. Would you like to have a few words? I was like, yeah, sure. Here's my account. Let's connect when we're back in Paris. I have a lot to do over here. And, we started at first a business relationship. From there, we were talking a lot about innovation, what we could do for the artists, what was the future, and so on. And then from there, we became friends. And, we evolved in different directions. And lately, when Alex was, coming with that idea that he's going to shake the world, as you said, with his co-founder, Thomas, and they asked me like, okay, Gary, I know already about like funding a business from scratch. We like your vibe. We're looking for benevolent souls, and you have the expertise of tech and of music. We trust you. Let's roll together. I said, yeah, I'm in. That's really how it happens. And now we're working for the best of artists. And as Alex did with MiDEM, I think managers is doing it now, but with the power of AI, like putting the artist in the center of everything. An artist is not a product, it's what is, I don't know. It's the main thing. Like, you don't have artists, you don't have music.
Yeah. No.
Period.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
So let's support them.
Absolutely. So where the idea came from? What was that? Like, how did you guys say, you know what, we need to build an AI management tool, MNGRS.ai? Am I right?
Yes,
MNGRS.ai. Yes. What does it stand for? Managers, like
managers. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
managers,
It's
just shortened.
the
Okay,
short version
MNGR.
is
Yes.
manager. Yeah.
Okay, great, great. So what, how the idea came about to actually create this specific idea, and what's the goal behind it, and how do you guys looking to disrupt and change and impact the industry and the artist, because the artists do need help these days. I feel bad that I've been in the music business for 30 years myself. Yes, I'm an old man. That,
Mhm.
artists, everybody looks at artists as the cash cow, which is a really, to me, it's a disgrace. The industry should be the cash cow, not the artist, because without the artist, I said it earlier, you said it, and I'll say it every day on my shows and when I speak to people, that without talent, without artists, we have no business. We have no music industry, nothing. So, yes, artists need to be on a pedestal. We do need to appreciate the creative minds that create these beautiful songs and beautiful music that bring joy and happiness and unite people together. It's a universal language. Without music, you can't. You go to a restaurant, there's music. You get on a plane, there's music. You go to the gym, there's music. Everywhere you go, there's music. Music is part of our life. It's part of our DNA. Without it, we have nothing. So we do need to empower and appreciate and give more to the artist community out there. So you guys created this. So tell me all about it. I'm sure our audience wants to hear about it. That's where you guys here. That's where you both guys here on Soundbreaker to talk about MNGRS. I'm gonna keep quiet and you guys do the talking now.
Actually, for years when I was at MiDEM, my goal was to help, artists and professionals to develop their activity and the business. And after MiDEM, I wanted to keep this DNA, and it was like a natural continuity, bringing all my expertise and the knowledge of meeting thousands of artists around the world. I saw very clearly the need of creating something that was missing. So a tool, a service that can help on a global scale as many artists as possible. And that's how we started to think, okay, what we can do, what can we build, what is already available on the market. Is there something that really works? And it was not the case. And thanks to the evolution of AI, we thought it was the right time to develop something new. And actually, we were the first to really think about AI as a tool to help the music business side. And nobody before, because usually when you think AI and music, it's always about creating music. And for us, it was something else because unfortunately, when you're an artist, creating good music is not enough. You need to find ways to promote your music. You need to have strategies. So a lot of stuff that most of the time an artist doesn't really like to think about. So, and it's very difficult to navigate in this new music landscape. So we wanted to simplify everything, structure the work, and bring them some very solid tool to help them to develop the career. So that's how we started to think, okay, let's create something that's going to be very useful for the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So what I really like is to do something meaningful. It's not about the money, how we can generate revenue, whatever. It's about what we can bring to our community. That's gonna be super useful. That's what we really believe that it could be a game changer for many artists around the world, and especially when I think about Africa, there's so many talents there. There's no structure. There's few managers, and it's very difficult even if you're a super good artist to make it. So in the future when they're going to use our service, we know that we can really show them the path to success.
Great. Gary, what does MNRGS.ai present to the artist? Like, what kind of tools and help and benefits to bring them? Like, when an artist is a bit lost, doesn't know where to go, direction, whether they are in Africa, or in France, or in the Middle East, or in the US, or in China, whatever they are in Asia, what does the platform brings to them, and offer them things that they don't have to go to different directions to get what they want. They'll find it all at one place.
It's exactly that, actually. It's bringing the music business expertise in one place. You have everything there thanks to the power of AI, and then you can, ask to the service different services, different tasks, and so on. So far, we have one feature, which is a music release plan, and we provide guidance to the artist. Thanks to that, to release a track, and it's personalized based on the data of the artist. So the artist can just share, the track, an artwork, if it's a solo artist, a group artist, if there is a featuring or not, a little biography and so on, a link where we can, collect all the existing data. We analyze that, and then we do a plan for that for the artist on purpose. And so the artist can, maximize his results instead of just, going on any social network, TikTok, Instagram, and just with one post saying, "Hey, well, my new track is out there. So go and stream," which is not enough, because we have a lot of music creators out there. We were discussing just before recording and saying, okay, now you have access to everything in the industry, right? It's really easy to access, to produce music. It's way cheaper than 20 years ago, even though I was not in the game yet, but it's way cheaper than 20 years ago. You can easily promote your music thanks to internet and so on. But then it means that it's a very, very competitive market. And how do you stand out? Well, if you don't have the expertise, you kind of can be lost with it. And an artist is here to create, not to be a marketing expert. So this is what we do with that first feature and that first aspect and that first topic. Because in the future, we want managers to .ai to guide and support the artists regarding the marketing, regarding the administration, the law, regarding the music, regarding the live, and it's gonna be a 360-degree support for all the topics and the career development.
Why don't you guys run through the whole process? I'm an artist. I come in. Here's my artwork that I created on my laptop in my bedroom. I use some of the available tools out there. Here's my bio. Here's my links to my social media platform. I'm a new artist. And here's my 2 singles that I recorded. I own them. They're mine. I come in. I log in. I create an account, obviously, the standard thing. What's next? What do I expect now? What's the journey for me as a beginner artist when I join Managers, MNGRS.ai? What to expect?
You can say managers.ai. So what we do, we try to make it very seamless for the artist. So if you already released a few tracks on streaming platforms, you just, when you're going to do the onboarding process, only with your name, we're going to be able to find out all the information about yourself. So what you already released, all your links, or your bio, everything available on the internet, we will find it. And then regarding your track, you will need only the audio file, the artwork, and the name of the track. And then we're going to generate a very customized 6-week plan. And we're going to tell you step by step what you have to do, how you should do it, and why you should do it. So there's an educational part. And also what we're going to provide you is a communication batch with IDs for social networks. So for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. So we create the captions and the ID for the visuals. We also generate the banners for all the platforms. We generate the emails for your fan base and the pitch promo for the media. So you follow the steps. We provide you a bunch of content for your communication, and you're good to go. It's very easy to use. What we know, most artists are by themselves, so it's very complicated for them because they don't have the right team around them. Yeah. And this is what we want to provide, like a trusted partner and very professional.
So the 6-week plan you guys talking about, that plan, you guys going to help me execute it as an artist? When I come into Managers.ai, are you guys going to provide all these services for me, or do I have to take this plan and execute it somewhere else? Or no, everything is done in-house. We're going to provide you with this service, that service, and all these steps.
It's a mix, actually, because we provide, for example, the assets for the different platforms, but there are steps that you need to do as an artist. And we think at Managers.ai that artists are entrepreneurs, especially today. So you have to prove that you deserve the success you want to do, and that you're really engaged in your development. It's all about determination, motivation, and resilience. So there are some steps, for example, that you need to do, but we guide you step by step. We tell you how long it's going to take you, where to go to do it. If you need to go on a distributor, we uh, explain you which distributor to choose, why, and then we give you the link to get there. And for any registration to organization helping you to collect and protect your music, protect the rights and protect your music, for example. So these are easy steps and very, I don't know how to say that, but if the artist doesn't do it, well, I think that's and as upcoming artist, when he or she doesn't have a team yet, okay, if he's not doing it or she's not doing it, then we have a problem. I think like the artist should seriously reconsider doing something else for a living. And so that's what we believe in. But outside of that, we provide the maximum to the artists.
What challenges did you guys face when you started such in a interesting, should I say, disruptive and life-changing for artists and impactful for the music artists in the industry? What challenges did you guys face putting this whole thing together?
So we identify clearly the problem. So how for an artist to generate revenue out of your music, how to cut through the noise when there's around more than 1 million tracks uploaded to the platforms every week. So it's very clear. But now the challenge is to provide the
Did you just say, not to interrupt, did you
market
say
fit
over
the,
over 1 million tracks
every
being
week, yes,
to your
on
platform,
Spotify.
man, on
Yeah.
Spotify? Okay. Okay. Yes.
So
True.
it's a lot of
That is true.
tracks. So we know the problem that all artists are facing. So now our challenge is really to deliver the perfect service for them and to really tackle this problem. So we
Yes.
started with one vertical, music, and in this vertical, we help the artist to release a new single. And then we're going to extend to the next vertical, fan base, business, and live.
Amazing.
So we're taking our time to go further with that. So we're taking our time to do some exploration and tests, and this is why so far the service is still free with its beta version, because we want to get the feedback from as many artists as possible and build the perfect tool, personalized too. We provide personalized
I mean, they're
plan
loving it.
and
It's for
services,
free for
and
now as a
that's
beta
the secret.
version. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. So, how is
And
the
one of
feedback
our,
so far? Yeah, please. Sorry. Go ahead, Alexander.
so I wanted to add something. One of our goals is to do as much as we can on behalf of the artist. But even if you're like a real manager and you work with artists, artists will still have to do things by their own. So this is part of the game. An artist who believe he can only create music is wrong. It's now, and especially now when you are an indie artist, you need to be involved in different aspects if you want to develop your
Yes.
career.
Yes. Yes. You have to. You have to wear different hats to shape your path in your career. Absolutely, as an artist, because this is one of the things that a lot of artists lack. The legal knowledge, the copyright knowledge, the publishing knowledge, all that side of the music biz. They, as you said, they know it's there, but they don't want to dive into it. They're afraid to dive into it. It's too much for them to handle. They're not afraid to make mistakes. They don't know what direction, what decision to make, whatnot. So MNGRS.ai helps them kind of, should I say, simplify this
Exactly.
path into the music business. Yes.
Exactly. For me,
Amazing.
it's like, the artist is like a pilot in a plane. So right now, the pilot is in the plane on the tarmac, pushing all the buttons, and nothing is happening. And what we do, we arrive as a co-pilot, we tell him, okay, press this button, this one, and you'll see the plane will start to move. And it's more engagement on social media, more streams. And then we're going to start to take off. It's where you're going to start to generate revenue out of your music. And then the end goal is really to stay in the air. And this is a career.
And reach the
This is where
stars.
we all want to go.
And we just
So,
turned the
and we're
plane
going to
into a.
provide as many co-pilots as artists around the world.
Gentlemen, Gary and Alexander, how did you guys put this thing together? Now, obviously, it's a startup. It's a tech music startup with big ideas, big visions, big dreams, and that all translates to money. I know, Gary, you came from the finance background, so probably you're the money man here as far as like, hey, how we can squeeze it, how we can arrange it. Is it bootstrapped? For people to know what bootstrap mean, it means, is it self-financed, self-funded between Gary and Alexander? Or is it you guys have investors already, have fundings, round of fundings going on, or pretty much self-funded?
Well, I'm gonna pass that one to Alex actually, because he's the one dealing with all the financial side. I'm more into the development, but not the development of the tool, the development of the brand and the company,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
so.
Yes, regarding funding, we are raising up to $1 million. And we already secured
Amazing.
725K. So we
Out of the
close
million.
to
the goal.
So we close.
Amazing.
And part of investors, we have of course music professionals, we have managers, and we also have people from the sports sector.
Wow.
And one of them is a famous football player from Real Madrid in Spain. Also
No
a
need to
player
say,
from the
I
French
guess.
team. I can't really say now, but I will say soon. And we have different
Amazing.
football players from Europe investing in our company. So it's funny to see the close link between sport and music, and that's why we think like that type of people investing in what we do, because a manager or coach is very close, and we know that sport people really love music, so that's very cool.
So the funding round's still open to reach us. So if anybody's interested, once you watch this episode, if you're interested, please contact Gary Yankson or Alexandre Deniot, or just go to the platform itself, MNGRS.ai. I don't want to spell it. Alexander doesn't want me to spell it. He just wanted me to say MNGRS.ai. That's it. You figure out the spelling.
Yeah, we can. I don't know if you can put the links at the end of the interview, but
we will. We'll add.
Okay.
We'll add them. Absolutely. I'm all about supporting amazing,
so much.
creative, innovative ideas in the music business. And that's what the show is about. I talk to people that have been in the business. We talk about the business and the changes and what the future of the business. And I'm a big fan of anything to do with tech and the music business, because that's what really kind of the driving vehicle of what we do in life, in the music business, obviously I'm talking about. But absolutely, I'm a big supporter, and we support every company that comes in, especially innovative ideas like you guys that supports artists, help artists, and kind of disrupt the business a little, because the music business is very old, and it still operates in very old platform and old rules and structure and infrastructure. Time for change. Time for change. Absolutely, we need that. We definitely need that.
Sure.
Thank you.
To say some stuff, so I'll quiet for a second, commenting on what I just said.
I just wanted to say thank you, because you spoke real and you spoke truth, and we need that. And so thank you. I appreciate.
Listen,
I appreciate your support
sure.
as well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, listen, Alexander also been in the business for a long time. He does look younger than me, but he's been in it for a long time. He's been hustling, or grinding, as they say, grinding. So he's seen when it transformed from the physical to the digital, from the physical era to the digital era. And I think one of the reasons why MiDEM was one of a massive, huge event and success back in the day, I think physical sales has a lot to do with it, because the amount of money was being generated in physical sales, and what was spent there, it was not even a fraction, nothing, pennies on the dollar. What they spent on these events and the parties and the promotion and awards and all of that. But hey, everything in this world go forward, and that's what technology is about changing and making things better for us. And the music business, again, is a universal language. I think people should practice more listening to music to unite each other in this world, in this chaotic world. I think they need more music in their life, definitely. And we need guys like you guys bringing such innovative ideas to the music business.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
Gentlemen, before we say goodbye, anything on the horizon that coming up this year or next year to a lot of the fans and listeners on Soundbreakers to look out for on MNGRS.ai? If you want to share with us anything new, any new functions, any something that you want to announce, please.
Gary,
Hey, let's flip a coin here. Let me hold on.
if we can announce something now, but what
Well,
I
you
would
did. You
say,
said a soccer player. There's a big couple of sports people.
yeah,
So you mentioned
yeah.
one.
As soon as we close the round, we will announce the investors. So if we have some listeners who are interested to invest, it's right now. At the end of the month, it's going to be done. So yeah, I think what we can say is like people, you should really go and test and try managers.ai. It's for free for now. It's a beta version, so we would love to have your feedback on it. And it's for you. It's for artists, and we really hope it's going to help a lot of artists around the world.
If artists join right now for free, would they be grandfathered in when you guys take it to beyond the beta version? They'll be charged or be no, because these are the first beginner supporters. They're not going to be charged.
Of course, they're going to be treated differently than the users coming later. So
Later.
now we're shaping a community of people around managers.ai. So far we have a Discord. We meet them, we talk to them. We really are interested in what they're doing because, as we said, we're shaping the perfect tool for the artists. And for sure, this is the right time to join the community and be able, as well to, as a community, to interact with other music creators, because the power comes from the number, from the solidarity, and this is something we truly believe in at managers.ai. So we have a lot of new stuff coming in the next few months, few years. But if you just want to know, just stay tuned, follow us. It's easy to find us on any social platforms. It's this time I'm gonna spell so you make sure that you can find us. It's MNGR, and it's that on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on other platforms that we're going to create. And on Discord, you can also look for it, or we have a link tree with all our links available, and it's easy to enter the community. So right now is a perfect timing to do it. So
Amazing.
We're waiting for you guys.
Gentlemen, before we say goodbye, just a quick advice. You both are entrepreneurs, obviously, and there's a lot of newcomers to the music business right now, especially the young ones. They want to carve their path into the music business. So an advice from Gary, an advice from Alexander, because you're both an entrepreneur and a living proof. So what advice you would give somebody coming in to the music business?
I'd like to go so I can leave the final word to Alex. I would share two things. First, resilience is everything. Like, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard as F, like for real, especially in markets like the music industry. So
Correct.
you have to be sure that you're ready for it, and that you have support, that you take care of your mental health. This is something that we often we forget too often. So take care of yourself and be resilient. Number one. Number two, great entrepreneurs do not follow trends; they create them. So innovate and look way further. Think about the future. You need to think about your cash flow right now, for sure. You need to be a little bit like bipolar on that one, but really create the trend. This is how you're gonna be there in the future. Be resilient, innovate, and look forward.
I would say never give up, and hustler. You need to push if you want to find a place in this very small business, and there's not enough room for everybody. So never give up. Try, and make sure that you are doing the best to come in this industry, because it's not easy, as we know, but it's possible. And if you really have this energy and this willingness to come in the business, you will make it.
Amazing. So I guess what we can extract out of both is the same thing. Be resilient, be stubborn, and believe in yourself. If that's what you want to do, believe in it and go for it. And they both said it, and Gary said it, and I said it, and everybody else says it, that, don't be a follower, be an innovator, be a creator. Don't be a trend follower, be the trendsetter. And yes, you like that. Gary loves that.
Yeah, sure.
Me too.
Yes, and that should be the slogan of MNGRS. Yes, absolutely. Yes, create your own trends. Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, I want to say it was a pleasure. I was looking forward to this amazing interview. It was fun. It was a blast, and so much insights and fun. And I love to, again, to speak to people and bring people on the show that who's really reshaping the landscape of the music business that we're in, bring it from the past to the future. Definitely, we need that. Guys like you are very important in the business. Gentlemen, thanks again for joining us today on Soundbreaker. And please make sure to follow us on socials and stay tuned for our next episode. Thanks again, guys. My pleasure.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to share the Soundbreaker podcast. And if you are joining us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.